Chitra ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
ready to go.
Yes, ma'am. Let's start with our today's session. A very happy evening to one and all present here. Success usually comes to those who are too busy to be looking for it. With this quote, in this warm evening, to refresh and create an impact onto the minds, Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, Savita Engineering College, brings to you a webinar on importance of engineering to make a good career by Mr. Vijay Praveen Maharajan, TEDx speaker, Siemens Mobility GmbH, Germany. Savita Engineering College, established in the year 2001, an autonomous institution which follows the Finland based education model, and we march towards less is more concept. Our college makes the students job ready by providing Industry 4.0 ready curriculum, which imparts the 21st century skills. Project based learning integrated with subjects improves the student's skill set and makes our learners to be the best, which is the motto of our college. The Department of EC was established in the year 2001. Our vision is to develop the department into a state of art with center of excellence in electronics and communication engineering education on par with global standards. The Department of EC has well experienced faculty of proven ability and diverse specialization. The faculty actively involves themselves in research in the fields of robotics, VLSI, MEMS, image processing, and embedded systems. I would now like to introduce the guest of our day. Mr. Vijay Praveen Maharajan completed his Master's in Electrical Engineering from Technical University of Munich, Germany. His areas of expertise include data analytics, business analytics, machine learning, and mobile communication. Having experience in being a data scientist in Telefonica Germany, Volkswagen AG, Mr. Vijay Praveen Maharajan currently works as the customer and analytics solution expert at Siemens Mobility Germany. He is a public speaker where he brings a mixture of market context, his own vision, and business cases in an enthusiastic way towards his audience. Mr. Vijay Praveen Maharajan's goal is to find ways to leverage data and businesses and create better data products. He was awarded as top 40 data scientists under 40 in India. And to mention, he was nominated as 20 plus inspiring data scientists to be followed in 2020 by AI Time Journal USA and the first Indian to give a TEDx talk in Germany on little things that make a big difference. We are very happy to have you with us today, sir. You may please take over the session now.
Thanks a lot. So just a second. So do you guys see me?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So thanks a lot. I would also like to unmute a couple of videos here popping up. So thanks a lot for such a heavy introduction. Thanks a lot. It's my pleasure to host this webinar for Savita Engineering College. So first up, I would like to thank the management of Savita Engineering College as well as the Department of Electronics and Communications Engineering. And I would also like to thank Chitra ma'am, Nancy ma'am, and all the technical support team who is behind this webinar, starting from making this beautiful poster to the marketing guys as well. So a big thanks for you guys. So I'm Vijay Praveen. I live in Munich, Germany. So for me, it is 1:30 in the afternoon. So just closing to the lunch session. So since we are at work from home, I mean, we don't have a fixed lunch session, but yeah. So shortly after the session, I'll take my lunch. And good evening for all of you, those who are from India. So just a little introduction about me. I did my bachelor's in electronics and instrumentation engineering from Congo Engineering College, which is from, I mean, not from a fancy city. And yeah, just a second. Somebody says that my volume is low. Is it better now? Can you hear me much better?
Yes, sir, that's fine.
Yeah, perfect. So I did my engineering back in, I mean, it's almost close to a decade now. So after that, I came for my master's to Germany. So I did my master's in electronics again from Technical University of Munich. So after that, as Chitra ma'am said, I've been with companies like Telefonica and Volkswagen in the past, and presently I work for Siemens as a data analytics expert. So yeah, I've been in TEDx stages as well. I love talking, so you will get to know that by the end of this session. So thanks a lot for joining. Thanks a lot for I mean being with me and this great institution for this great webinar. Manikanta, if voice is not clear, I would suggest you to probably go out and join the call again so that it will be easy for you guys. So yeah. So before we start, I always do this with my attendees or with my participants. So I'm sure that all of you should have a mobile phone or a laptop at your hand. So let's play a little game. Let's see how data works. So I request you guys, just a second. So I request you guys to log on to slido.com. Just go on to slido.com and type in this number. So it will take a couple of minutes. So don't worry, I won't take long. It's just to gauge the audience, just to see uh, how things are at your end. So you can use the chat window. I'm sure that most of you are using WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, and so other beautiful applications out there. I'm pretty sure I don't have to request you to use the chat box below. So make use of it. Start typing in, start using it. So have you typed in slido.com and typed in the code as well? The code is 31434. Have you did that? Any response to me using the chat box? And I would also request Chitra ma'am to send the YouTube link to
Sir,
my
I've sent it
personal.
to you through WhatsApp, sir. You can just
Yeah,
check it out.
perfect. Yeah, perfect. So have anybody already typed in slido.com? And if yes, just type in 31434. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so let me just post the first question. So I'd just like to know, where are you joining us from today? Just to see where you guys are joining us from. So for instance, I am from Munich, Germany, sitting close to Switzerland in Germany. Let's see. Okay, guys are jumping in. Cool. Okay. Delhi, Michael, you can use slido.com. That is where I'm gathering the answers. Let's open it up. Okay, there are people from Chennai, Vellore, Kanyakumari, down south, Chennai, Karnataka, cool, Tirupur, Shimoga, Harur, Maharashtra, cool, Madurai. Okay, so for guys who are typing in the answers, I am from Tirunelveli. I'm from that Alva city, but currently residing in Thuthukudi. I mean, my parents, of course. I'm in Munich, Jeepet, Chennai, Dindigul. Okay, so cool. I could see people all across Tamil Nadu, all across. I mean, Karnataka. There are people from Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh. Cool. That's great to see. And I have also got a few chats as well. People from Ruchi from Delhi, Parandaman Gopalaswamy from Dindukal. Cool. Thanks a lot, guys. My next question to you. Telangana. Manikanta is from Telangana. Cool. What would you like to learn today? So just forget about the topic. Forget about the topic today. What would you like to learn today? What would you like to know from me today? So we have beautiful environment here. I mean, we are set up with Zoom, also on live on YouTube. So I would again request you to answer using Slido because that is more easier for me instead of reading all the chats on YouTube and Zoom. What would you like to learn today? So just go into slido.com. For those who joined late, log on to slido.com using your mobile phone. You can, of course, minimize your Zoom if you are using mobile. Type in 31434 and then just let me know. But first up, I would like to, should thank the audience. Or way more interactive than I thought. Okay, Manikanta wants to know the success in engineering. Okay, Parandaman Gopalaswamy, why engineering? Okay, Vinayak, how to become successful as engineer. Okay, okay, these are the responses from Zoom. Let's look at the results from Slido as well. Okay, a way to success in career, important things to do in COVID period. That's a nice one. Engineering market after COVID to be successful in teaching, good job. For your experience, how to achieve more, want to be an entrepreneur. I wish to get idea from you. Good information for serving the society. Bah, a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. Cool. About doing MS. Cool. How am I be creative? How to get job? Something new and critical. Cool. Better jobs for engineers after engineering. What after engineering? Okay, so without wasting your time, just one final question. On a scale of 1 to 10, how are you feeling today? 10 being the highest, 1 being the least. So again, go to slido.com, use this number. I'm not using any of these data for my private use or for any of the other usage. It's just to be interactive. So for guys answering on Zoom, I would suggest you to go on to Slido and type in 31434 and then tell me the results. Okay, let's look at the results. Oh, okay. Okay, that's a lot. That's a lot. Okay. So I'm happy. I'm happy because most of my audience are looking happy today. The average score, as you can see on the top, is 7.8. And the reason why I do this is I'm a data scientist. Of course, I would love to play with these data. So since I come from data background, I would like to analyze how things are at your end. But again, thanks for uh, I mean, thanks for answering me. Thanks for patiently doing all these steps as I instructed. So let's see. Cool. So let's go into the session. I mean, now I get a fair bit of idea about what are the expectations from my audience. Let's say people want to know about how to be a successful engineer, how to become successful. I mean, success can't be measured in, of course, 1 hour, but for sure we can discuss about the possibilities, discuss about how we can prepare ourselves in order to be industry ready. And then, of course, what after engineering, why engineering, a lot of questions. So first up, I would like to say that I myself is an engineer. So for sure, I'm not gonna vote for the other professions. So since I took up engineering and since I did it with passion, I'm doing well. So to say, I'm doing well in these days just because of this tag, Vijay Praveen Maharajan is of course my dad's name, so don't be bamboozled with my lengthy name. So uh, yeah, so for those who want to, I mean, follow me after this webinar, that's me on LinkedIn. You can follow me there. For those who are students, who are beginners, or who are looking for various opportunities, please open a LinkedIn profile. I mean, that is a beautiful social networking. I mean, it's just like WhatsApp, Facebook, and Instagram. It's just for your profession. So I bet WhatsApp or Facebook won't give you a penny, but for sure LinkedIn will be able to give you. So just go on to LinkedIn and create an account. Probably you can look at my profile. You get some inputs. You can get an idea about how to structureize your profile. And then if you have any doubts, you can always drop me a note. I'll be able to help. So who is this? A simple elementary level question. I'm gonna kick someone out of this window if somebody answers. Somebody doesn't know the answer of this question. Hmm. So for sure, I should be getting answers. Who is this whom you see on the screen? So in the meantime, I'll probably check out the YouTube space. Yeah, Sundar Pichai, Arbas Shaikh, Divya Shweta, Shabari Shapriya, Charu Niveta, Ruchi Yadav, Gopal, Vignesh Mogalapalli is even briefing what's his uh, profession. So good to see. Sneha, yeah. So now my next question: who he is? I mean, what's his background? What did he do? I mean, you can ask me. Of course, you're from this background, and what is his background? What did he do? What did Sundar Pichai do? Yes, Vignesh, he's an engineer from IIT. Yes, that's true. What's his specialization? Can anyone tell me? Specialization in the sense, let's take um, this webinar. It is organized by Electronics and Communications Engineering Department. Okay, our boss says, I don't know the background of this guy. Sangam says civil. Sneha says metallurgical engineering, and Ruchi Yadav says MBA from Stanford, which is even better. Okay. So yes, you guys are right. I mean, of course, he is the pride of our nation, our state, we can call it. He's a pride of the world. In fact, he's leading one of the top tech firms in the world right now. He's the CEO of Alphabet, the former CEO of Google, and also the current CEO of Google as well. So he's none other than Sundar Pichai. So most of you are right as well. He is an engineer by background. He did metallurgical engineering. I mean, even in chemical, his specialization is metallurgical engineering. So this itself answers some of your questions already. So a guy who did metallurgical engineering has nothing to do with software, who has nothing to do with any coding or programming is now sitting at top of one of the top technological firms in the world right now. So of course, Google is everywhere, right? We use Google. Everybody uses Google in some or the other ways. Some people use YouTube, some use Gmail, some use Maps. So for guys who say I'm not aware of Google or I don't use Google products as they steal our data, they are just lying to themselves. So you cannot escape from this particular firm, to be honest. I mean, everybody right now in this world are scared about how Google is evolving, particularly if you have heard of Elon Musk, who is the CEO of Tesla, who just recently said Google is growing and it is scaring me. So that is the current status of Google. So they are doing a lot of things: YouTube, robotics, maps, you name it. You can call it. They are doing it already. And even if you are thinking some ideas, just please check if they are doing it or they have already done it. That is their capability and their capacity. So he is an engineer. As I said, he did metallurgical engineering. So what is metallurgical engineering? Metallurgical engineering is nothing but the reaction of metals when it reacts with chemicals or let's say oxygen or in the atmosphere, what it is. So by learning that, he has not gained anything that is relevant to programming or Google. So that is the mindset we should all have. So that should be the, I mean, the adrenaline rush whenever you see him or whenever you read about him in the news. So for sure, he's one of the, I mean, best minds in the world right now, and he's one of the topmost paid in the industries across the globe. So coming back to a couple of questions you guys asked. So somebody asked why engineering, right? So for example, it gives you an analytical thinking and gives you various options. So guys already asked what next, what after engineering. So in order to pursue a master's in abroad or masters, let's say a master's, engineering should will be helpful. I mean, I'm not against any other professions, but engineering for me is like has given me a lot of things so far. It has given me a good recognition. As Chitra ma'am was telling upfront, I was recently being acknowledged as 20 plus top inspiring data scientists across the globe. So things like these will not fall into place if I hadn't chosen engineering. So that is one really good aspect about engineering. It gives you options. Uh, I mean, just linking my story with Sundar Pichai doesn't mean that I'm anywhere close to him. He is from metallurgical engineering and he ended up being the CEO of Google and Alphabet. What I did is nothing but instrumentation engineering. So instrumentation engineering again is just about exploring what an instrument does or what a sensor and actuator does. So this passion towards data started long back when I did instrumentation engineering. So uh, from being an instrumentation engineer to a data scientist, it's not been a smooth curve. It's been a topsy-turvy curve, and it actually, uh, to be honest, um, also the efforts. I mean, the analytical thinking, the exploration. It gives you a process, a thought flow where you can look at various options. So, for instance, I know. First of all, I would also like to thank all the doctors and the doctor fraternity who are fighting against this COVID. And I also would like to tell you guys, please take care and stay safe. Please stay indoors. I mean, I myself from Germany, still working from home since February, and there hasn't been any announcement whether we are getting back to office anytime before September. But if you look at the numbers of COVID in Germany, it is very less. So we have 100 or 200 infections per day, which is very lesser now. But at some point of time, we were actually doing similar to Tamil Nadu or other states in India. So we were crossing 10,000 or 20,000 infections per day. But right now the situation is far, far better. But look at these governments. They have not announced about the timings that we should come back to the office. So yeah, and talking about the doctors, which I wanted to tell is, I know doctors who take up medicine, who put all their efforts for 6 years or more, and then after that they need to do a master's, which is again like 2 to 3 years. There are a lot of passionate doctors who serve the society, and I'm always grateful for them. So the good thing, the only good thing about choosing engineering is again saving a little bit of time. So you are a little bit ahead of some other professions. For instance, I know CA or public services examination. So as I said, I'm not against any profession. It is just to compare you the time frame. So also it gives you an option to explore the masters. So be it IITs or any technical institutes across the globe, it is a good option to do a master's. And talking about which particular stream of engineering, it's up to you. So I would say in India, basically in India, who decides which stream that you should choose? It's either your dad, your mom, your uncle, who just calls your dad and says, "Hello, Easy is doing good this year." Okay, who he is? He is like doing some business somewhere. So people from all the sides, all the directions, they throw the input. So as students, you also should take up some responsibilities, because back in our days or back in um, uh, 2000 or 2010, the usage of social media were not there. But now if I look at kids playing in the family, um, there are like people using WhatsApp right from, let's say, fourth standard or fifth standard. So that is the advancements of the social media. So people are already engaging in a lot, and they are giving a lot of inputs to the parents. So that is not actually surprising. So people are getting aware of a lot of things well in advance, which is a good thing. And of course, there are a lot of uh, things that we still need to improve with regards to the data security, data privacy, and also sharing a lot of unnecessary informations which are publicly available. So uh, also make sure that you don't explicitly provide a lot of information. There are a lot of crimes going on and on. So that is always there. So just let me have a couple of questions. Yeah. So what else you guys were telling? Yeah, metallurgical engineering. Yes. So as I said, why engineering, right? So of course there are a plethora of institutions in India. That is a easy escape route for this question. Manikanta, I'm not sharing any PPT. So if you don't wish to see my face, you can always, of course, minimize the video. But yeah, I'll share the PPT in a while. So I'll tell what you guys can do during this COVID. So there are a couple of things that you guys can do, particularly during this COVID time. So I'll also explain what it is. So yeah, since Manikanda requested, I'm going back to the PPT. So what you guys can do. So there was a question regarding what we can do during this COVID, how we can make ourselves ready for engineering. So the good thing is to practice. So I'm a big fan of cricket. So recently we had Mahendra Singh Dhoni's birthday and Saurav Ganguly's birthday. I'm a big fan of Sachin, Ganguly, and Dhoni. So it's just like cricket. So practice makes a man perfect. So be it anybody, it's same like how you use social media. So have anybody taught how to open a Facebook account or how to open an Instagram account for English? Never. So it probably might have been you teaching your dad or mom how to do something on social media. So just like practicing these applications, you can practice a lot of things, especially during this COVID times. So let's say uh, you can take a look at some of the courses in the sense, not engineering courses, maybe something relevant to arts, something relevant to photography, something. Just go out and explore things. So that is what I wanted to tell people um, who are actually coming out of school or coming out of polytechnics. So just explore options. Just look at options. Look at things that are available online. So the life is not just about using WhatsApp, Facebook, and Instagram. So there is a huge world which is outside, which can teach a lot of things to you. So make use of these trainings. So go out for photography, go out for an arts or drawing, any kind of courses available in these platforms. Just see what it is. Just have an opinion on it. And then, of course, there are n number of universities, n number of colleges in and around Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Telugu, and Telangana, and a lot of, across India. Just sit and shortlist universities according to the rankings. There is a lot of uh, so even for instance, if you look at the top, Savita is actually ranked 124th when it comes to NIR of ranking. So it is a national level ranking just to gauge the university. So and for instance, they have this A grade. So these kind of universities, rankings, accreditations, you should check that. Of course, when we did engineering, our parents or they were not aware of these measurements. So how do they assess every universities? Of course, there are a lot. So probably the engineering might have lost its grace over the past few years because of n number of engineers across India. So if somebody might have seen a Tamil movie called Velayilla Pattadari, so that says the current state, right? So people were like going behind engineering. So probably you should blame us. So it was our particular era who went crazy behind engineering. People went like crazy. Most of my friends are engineers. So of course, when a university prepares 90% of engineers and 10% of other professions, of course there will be a rush in the job market. So that reflected on the job markets, and that is how people started losing the faith in engineering. But it is not. It is so your job, your skills. Somebody asked the question, what jobs after engineering? It depends on you. So as I said, I have nothing to do with data science. Data science was never taught to me back in India, or it was never taught to me in Germany as well. I chose that path. I worked on it. So I started taking up online classes. I went and sat in the optional classes. So a lot of universities also have optional courses as well. Of course, you need to pass fixed modules for like 6 semesters or 7 semesters, and then you can choose a couple of electives. They call it electives. So in order to make yourself aware of these terms, you need to put the research. So of course, you can ask your brothers, you can ask your sisters, but it is always better if you put your own effort, because ultimately it is your life, and you're at this point where um, you cannot blame others for anything that happens to you, because right now social media is available to all of us. Everybody is using internet. Everybody is making use of WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram. It is okay to post pictures. Of course, I am on Instagram. I am on Facebook under the same name. I am on every platform. I do use social media a lot in the past, but it's time. It gradually changes. So everything has a saturation. Everything has a saturation. So it is good to use those platforms, but just prepare a time sheet or prepare a timetable where you can invest some time on yourself. Because let's say after 4 or 5 years, instead of blaming your brothers or your sisters or your parents, it is now the right time that you can invest your time so that you can ask opinions. So let's say, look, Dad, I have did this. I have made a research. I have went and asked a couple of guys. For sure, there will be people will be saying, "Hey, poda." People will be like, for sure, they'll deny you for the first instance. For sure, they'll be like, "உனக்கு என்ன தெரியும்?" Like people will be typically telling in Tamil, what what will you know? I mean, what do you know at this age? Teach them, because we have this social media power. I mean, if you want to um, become a Sundar Pichai, or if you want to make a good career out of engineering, then you should start investing your time. Like I'm seeing 150 participants or even more in Zoom, and at the same time I'm seeing almost the double of participants on YouTube as well. So it's like close to 400, 500 people are watching this video just to see the importance of engineering or how to make a good career in engineering. Similarly, make use of this time somewhere productive. That is what I want you guys to do. So, I mean, you're at adolescence. I mean, I understand 16, 17, 18. This is actually a tricky age. I mean, I've been there, done that. I'm not so older to you, of course. I'm not someone with gray hairs all over my head. So that is also what I wanted you guys to let you know. I mean, it's like you should be the how do they call? You should be the pivot of your career. You should be the deciding factor of your career. Be it your mom scolding you or dad scolding you or anybody scolding you for your decisions. Just try options, explore options. It's good that if you fail, it is okay if somebody rejects your idea. Rejections do occur. For sure, people back in India, they face a lot of issues. I mean, they face issues with respect to um, publicly available data online, a lot of unnecessary things going on outside the world. So it is also here in Germany as well. I mean, here they give value to the skin color. For instance, if I am from Asia, of course, they can recognize easily from my face. So they give priorities to Germans, of course, that is always there. So rejections and the humiliations are always there. Don't worry about these things. So, I mean, if you are fed up of your daddy scolding you or your mommy scolding you, then there is no point in getting more and more wishes. So it is at this point you should have n number of ambitious thoughts. Okay, I want to make a great career. I want to become a Sundar Pichai. It is okay. It is perfectly alright. You can be the next Sundar Pichai. You can be the next Satya Nadella, who is the CEO of Microsoft. So it is good to have very advanced thoughts. So that is perfectly alright. So the good thing is, so the important thing is you to make steps. I mean, you be it little step, be it one step at a time, just like cricket, one ball at a time. So it is not like 300 totals are chased in inside 10 overs. So it's like batsman takes a lot of time. I mean, they used to play dot balls, Sixes are in the only way to win. Listen, so just um, give me a second, making a little pause, and maybe you can ask a couple of questions. In the meantime, I'll just go through the YouTube, or if there are any interesting comments, of course, Chitra ma'am and Nancy ma'am, you can post that question to me. So in the meantime, I'll just have a look at those questions.
Yes, sir, sure.
Yeah.
Actually, in Zoom
And
chat box, Miss Ruchi Yadav has asked something. Like, please
yeah,
suggest how
I'll,
can one pursue PhD in electronics and communication engineering? I'm willing to apply
mhm.
abroad, and I'm willing to do research in electronics, thus contributing to existing electronics knowledge. She's willing to pursue abroad, like she wants to pursue PhD in abroad,
Okay.
and she's asking you suggestions for the same. How can we pursue PhD in abroad?
Okay. So getting PhDs in abroad uh, is not so complicated, but yeah, you need to find the right links. So for instance, you need to shortlist the universities. So as I said, they have rankings for universities globally. So they have Times ranking and QA time rankings. There are a couple of rankings. I mean, if somebody is aware of such rankings for universities globally, you can post it on chat box below so that it is beneficial for people. So you can go with those rankings, go to the website, have a look at, just a second, there is a echo. So have a look at the department websites individually, and then you can look for department postings. So PhD positions aren't something that is open to all in general. So how PhD positions work in abroad is they'll be kept in a closed loop. So for instance, if Savita Engineering College has a website, and if Department of Electronics and Communications Engineering has a separate page, you should go on to that page, and they'll be posting that particular post, PhD post, on their website. So that is how you get to know the positions in universities abroad. I mean, that is how it works in Europe. I'm not sure about universities from US or Canada. And also, MS in Germany, it's one of the gifted things that you can do. So can any one of you guess what's the average fees of doing a master's in Germany? I mean, in engineering. Can any one of you just make a wild guess? Make a wild guess. Drop at the chat box. Drop your text in the chat box. Yeah. So Sonali has asked a question: what are the career prospects in robotics and automation in Germany? I will get back to that. So there is someone called Talabadi, hopefully not Vijay. I myself is Vijay. 8 lakhs of Indian rupees. Okay. Anyone else having a wild guess about what's the average tuition fees? Tuition fees in the sense what you pay for the universities abroad. 4 to 5 lakhs. Joel Ponraj. Yeah, looks like Joel Ponraj has made some efforts and research. So he is actually right. So I did my master's with 32,000 Indian rupees. So that's the beauty of doing a master's in Germany, and that is, of course, one of the compelling reasons why you can choose engineering and how it will make your career prosper. So for sure, if you want to do a master's in any field, be it any field, forget about doing a master's in medicine if you are not uh, having a good score in NEET exam, or if you are not filthy rich. But you can do a master's in electrical engineering in Germany with 32,000 Indian rupees. That's all it cost. I mean, it costed for me. I'm not lying. I'm a live example for that. So most of the universities here in Germany, not only in Germany, across Europe, most of the universities, they are public funded universities. What it means. So the government pays for the universities. So, I mean, instead of picking another career, of course, you can choose engineering. You can learn a lot of interesting stuff for sure, starting from physics, chemistry to various mathematics concepts. You will gain a lot of knowledge, and by the time you complete 4 years of education, for sure, you can take up masters in Germany, which is really handy. And just what are the qualifications of a master's in Germany, Paramesh? Um, Good grades, of course. That goes without saying. You should have a good grades, and grades isn't everything. So I repeat, grades isn't everything. So if you secure less marks in 10th and 12th, it is okay. We can always uh, find our passion, find something fruitful to what we do, and then we can continue to do that. So for sure, you can get that kind of inputs. And Shailesh is asking about what's the scope of safety in engineering for future. So Shailesh, safety is one of the important aspects when it comes to engineering. Even if you look at well-established institutions like Savita Engineering College or any other reputed institutions across India, uh, starting from the labs, you will be instructed accordingly. So the safety is considered as one of the important factors and parameters even at the college level. So considering the industry levels, it's even more. So uh, I mean, with things getting automated, a lot of things are getting automated right now. So the safety aspect is even more considered in across every industry. Okay, and Sonali is asking, is that the same amount you pay in today's scenario also? Yes, I graduated from Technical University of Munich. You can go and check out the fees. It is probably close to 30 to 40,000 Indian rupees. So this is what I'm saying. I mean, you invest 4 years of engineering back in India, and then of course you can get a 2 years of masters in abroad. I mean, doesn't mean that you have to come to Germany. And I myself, I just had to pay the expenses for my food and travel and my accommodation here in Germany for 2 years. So for that, I come from a middle class family. I mean, my father is a police in Thuthukudi. So uh, even for doing this, uh, what do they call? I mean, like for the accommodation, travel, and expenses, living expenses, I had to pay close to four, 3 to 4 lakhs per year. I mean, 4 to 5 to 6 lakhs. I forgot. I mean, even in India, if you are paying a rent, it is there, right? I mean, if you own a house, it is okay, but if you come out of the country, the expenses are exponential. So for sure, you're gonna pay a lot for the expenses. So I had to pay for the expenses, and it was 5 to 10 lakhs, and I had taken a loan as well. It's not like 10 years back I came with all the money that I had. So I took loan. I came here since the fees was really low. The good thing about Germany is again you can work part time. So you can work part time in the sense not in McDonald's or KFCs. You can work as an engineer, part-time engineer. So I did that. I repaid the loan within 6 months or 8 months. So that is again an advantage of choosing engineering. You have various options. Of course, engineering in India is costly. It is not so cheap as in India because it is the responsibility of the government ultimately, not the institutions. So it's worth spending in engineering, I would say. And regarding what you attain over the period of 4 years, as I said, you gain a lot of knowledge in physics, mathematics, chemistry. You get that analytical thinking. You get to know about um, various. You get to know about various people. You got a lot of opportunity to attain various certifications and courses for sure. A college like Savita and the others, they will provide you a lot of aspects where you can groom yourself so you can be a better person. You can ultimately graduate as a better person. That is the most important thing. So the reason why people are always saying about this is a strict college, you cannot define this word strict. It is okay to be strict in certain cases, but ultimately they shape you up. So I'm pretty sure that Savita is a very liberal college, and yeah, taking up engineering. By the time you graduate, you will be probably 22, let's say 23 at the max, or even 24. So you will be a better person. I mean, of course, you learn a lot of tricks and trades when it comes to engineering, when it comes to applying the knowledge. So let's take a simple lab. If you are an electrical and electronics engineer, you do the hard yards. You sit and work with gluing the bulb. You do a lot of electrical activities. You work with sensors. You work with circuits and everything. And if you are a programmer, if you are from CSE, you get to know about programming and of course digitalization. So everybody are working from home at the moment. So even this webinar, what you're doing is just hearing it online. You didn't move anywhere. You could be in your bedroom, hall, or kitchen. You're listening to me. So that's the beauty of the digitalization. So Twitter recently announced that more than 40%, if I remember correctly, more than 40% of the employees will work from home forever. So that is going to be the new work model, in my opinion. So this also helps the companies to actually reduce costs when it comes to costs that are involved in setting up a building, electricity charges, water charges. So they get rid of that, and they are getting what should be done. And that is the important thing. So the work is done. They are happy. So they are asking the employees to work from home. But yeah, you cannot expect the same with universities. For sure, right at the moment, people are using online platforms like Zoom, Google Meet, and other platforms to teach students. But yeah, ultimately, if COVID situation gets better, you will be asked to get back to the schools or colleges, to the respective places. Yeah. So any other questions? Anushya is asking, what is the best department of engineering? In my opinion, there is no best department. You can give the best in any department that you get placed. So, for instance, as I said, I took up instrumentation engineering, but look where I am and what I'm doing. I'm in Germany working with data, not with instruments. So, it is how you roll, it is how you shape yourself up. And Yamuna is saying, sir, I'm an electrical student, how I improve my field knowledge. As I said, Yamuna, you can take up courses online. You can take up online courses on platforms like Udemy, Coursera, Linda. There are a lot of platforms where you can learn stuff apart from college, and you can also request your staffs to uh, involve yourself in more laboratory works. So you can do projects, you can do spec projects, you can do internships, you can work um, closely with your friends. So that is one thing. And what else? So, so Sonali is asking, do you recommend bachelor's degree in Germany? Not. Bachelor's degree in Germany still needs to elevate to the kind of master's level that they have, because bachelor's degree in Germany is still in German language. So if you look at my course, it was in English. So for me, it was easy to learn engineering. But learning engineering in German language, which is not you are used to, then it's like go crazy. Mm, Balaji, learning masters can also be done in IITs as well and leading institutions in India. So it is not the abroad is the only option. And Anisha has a beautiful question. Any government jobs for engineering? There are a lot. On I mean PWD, electricity board, railways. They have a lot of jobs for engineers. So there is this Indian Engineering Service Exam (IES), which provides a lot of jobs for the engineers. So in a way, you can stick to your home country. You can serve a lot of beautiful things to your hometown. I have friends who work in India itself. So yeah, yeah, electronics. When it comes to electronics, how to upgrade your skills? Again, as I would say, just work on smaller projects. Even if you make a little circuit and make it happen, that is the success. So to do that, you need theoretical knowledge. So the knowledge that is provided in university is sometimes, mm, I mean, not enough because of course you have a period of mathematics. After that, physics, science, principles of management, ethics. So all things are getting mixed up. So if you want to specialize yourself in electronics, take up electronics courses online. There are a lot of platforms as I can show it to you. So as I said, you have a lot of platforms. I have listed these platforms below. So there is Linda, there is Udemy, there is Coursera. You can have that. And so there is Nitya who has a question. She's a computer science graduate, finished with ME. Is there a chance to learn additionally online? For sure, for sure. There are a lot of courses. For those who are asking me to upgrade skills or how I can upgrade skills, this is the platforms that you can have a look at. So you can check out Udemy, Coursera, EDX, NPTEL. NPTEL is from IIT professors and IIT uh, in India. You can check NPTEL in YouTube. Mm, Sonali is asking why you still see a lot of aspirants opting for US and Australia. I believe the reason is language. So for sure you can learn, you can work, you can get a degree there just with English. But here, if you want to come to Germany, you need to learn language. So for sure, of course, if you want to gain a master's degree with just 40, 50,000 Indian rupees, then for sure you need to learn an additional aspect, which is why some students are probably afraid of. And Germany is not so a fancy destination when it comes to doing masters. It is slowly picking up, and I see a lot of people doing masters right now. Probably choosing Australia and US is again a reason of having a lot of relatives there. ஓகே என்னோட அண்ணா அங்கே இருக்கான், என்னோட சித்தப்பா பையன் அங்கே இருக்கான், ஒன்று விட்ட தாத்தா பையன் அங்கே இருக்கான் அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. ஸோ there are a lot of reasons why people select those destinations. But I'm sure now you know me. I know Vijay Praveen. Yes, I'm there to help you out. You can always pick Germany as an option. Our boss is asking what is best, physics or electronics? I did electronics and instrumentation, and I still say data science is much better. So it's something or the other is always better. So in my opinion, for sure, physics is the basics. So electronics, for sure, it is everywhere. It's with the mobile phones, with what is there on your hands is electronics, be it laptop, be it computer, be it mobile phones, tablets. So for sure, it is good for your career. And somebody is asking about pay package. Forget about pay this age. You can earn a shitload of money if you are good at your profession. If you are doing good at what you're doing, then for sure you can earn a lot. So this guy here is is earning crores every night when he goes to bed, and when he wakes up, he's like earning crores. So for sure, anybody can earn. Earning is not a thing. It should not be in your minds at this point of time. So just groom yourself, make yourself industry ready, develop the skills that are needed. It is the time that students and aspirants, you guys can teach the others. Hey, look, this college is ranked 10th or 8th in this list. Why can't I join this college? It is up to you. So just don't hold yourself back. Procrastination is a big no to all of you guys. And if you have time, as I said, if you have time, you can master a new technology. Of course, technology is everywhere. Every engineering, be it civil engineering, mechanical engineering, computer science, IT, chemical engineering, every engineering students are using a technology, be it MATLAB, C, C++, Java, anything. So if you have time and if you have the passion to learn something new, go for it. Make use of this pandemic times, learn something new, and yeah, for sure, the more you learn, the better you are. So it is always easy to compare the actors or the politicians to people. So how many of you are Rajini fans, superstar fans, or Kamal fans, Vijay, Ajit fans, or people from uh, Andhra? You can name people. So these guys, why they are so famous now? What they did is they did what comes naturally to them, and they did it to perfection. So they did it repetitively. That's the thing. So you need to be consistent. So Rajini is not a superstar if he was not in the industry for like 5-10 years in the middle. So he was consistently there. So he was putting in his efforts, he was acting movies, he was doing what comes to him naturally. So do that. Find something that comes naturally to you, work on it, improve that skills, and there you go. I mean, Sundar Pichai is leading the Google just because he is a good engineer. He is good at what he does, and he has an MBA. Of course, he is also a good in administration. So these things will help you shape up. I guess it's over an hour. If there are any other questions, you can leave. Thanks a lot for being interactive. Thanks a lot for answering all my questions. Thanks a lot for posting too many questions. For sure, yeah, we traveled a zigzag curve in this webinar. It's not just for engineering, because there were a lot of questions regarding PhDs, masters, and government examinations, government jobs after engineering. So we discussed a lot of opportunities. So if I missed out on any key aspect, please excuse. And to keep in touch, for sure, you can always contact me on LinkedIn. You have my email ID there. If I'm not responding, you can leave a mail there. And you can also, for Englets, you can also follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or any platform you wish, any platform which you are in. So I'll be responding to you in a day or two. So yeah, thanks a lot, Priyanka, Shonali. So Balaji says engineering is also one of the degrees that is considered less. As I accepted that engineering has lost its craze in the recent times, but who cares? I'm I'm, I'm proud of being an engineer. So do you. So take up engineering. It's really good, and you can contact the Department of Electronics and Communications of Savita Engineering College, and you can also get some inputs. And there is also a robotic webinar that is coming up. So just check their online sources. Recommendations for postdoc. Again, postdocs aren't easy for those who did PhDs or masters in that universities. So in order to give a compelling reason, just prepare some research document, put your research, put your own efforts, prepare an abstract, and then send it to professors abroad. For sure, um, the good thing about professors in abroad is they respond within 2 to 3 days to your emails. So it's no point in dropping an email with what you would love to do. How can we shine in NASA? Why NASA if there is a great space organization ISRO in India itself? So there are engineers everywhere. Take NASA, ISRO. People are in doing good in Germany, Canada. Take any organization that is doing good. Take Pepsi, take Google, take Microsoft. Everybody is an engineer who is leading on the top. Thanks a lot, Manikanda. Thanks, Balaji. I'll drop my mail ID here so that if you can make use of it, you can go ahead. You can drop me a note. You can drop me your questions if you have any. Thank you, Balaji. Thank you. Thanks. It's been a pleasure. Yeah. So if you have any questions, you can ask. Else we can wind up because it's over an hour.
Yes, sir. I had actually forwarded the questions that I got through chat box to you privately, sir. I think you've
Okay.
answered most of them.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, sir. So that's what we have for the question answer session. You want to say something for the participants as one last thing, sir?
I would say I would suggest them to be, to be patient, to be persistent, and practice a lot. So these are the three things that I always tell my participants. So keep going and find something that comes naturally to you. So be it photography, be it arts, be it design, be it anything. Find something. So in order to find something, you need to explore 10 different options. So explore 10 options, pick one, check the rest, and do it consistently. You will become someone, someone great in the future. And I would love to see you somewhere on the top. It's my pleasure as well.
Yes, sir. That was actually a great input from your side, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yes,
Thanks a
sir. So
lot.
thank you very much for the wonderful session, sir. We convey our heartfelt thanks to you for sharing your valuable knowledge with us. And you, in fact, answered all the questions from our participants as well. So we thank you very much for accepting our invite and being present today. Though being in such a big position, it was too good to have you in our webinar series today, sir. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. My
Yes,
pleasure.
sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. Micha Nandri.
Yes, sir, Nandri. And we thank all the
Yeah.
participants also for joining with us today. Hope you'd have enjoyed the session well and all the questions have been answered by our speaker. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye, guys. Thank you. See you in, sometime in the future.
Yes, sir. Sure. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
I'd like to announce about our upcoming webinar. Our upcoming webinar is on autonomous robot navigation by Dr. K. Padmanabhan Panju, scheduled on July 11th between 4 p.m. and 5 p.m. I request all faculties and students to attend the webinars and get benefited. I repeat once again, our upcoming webinar is on autonomous robot navigation by Dr. K. Padmanabhan Panju, scheduled on July 11th between 4 p.m. and 5 p.m. I request all the faculties and students to attend the webinars and get benefited. Meet you all in the next session of our webinar series. The feedback link has been posted in the chat box as well as the YouTube live streaming page. We request the participants to fill up the feedback form within 10 minutes after the session gets over. You'll be receiving the e-certificates to your mail IDs within 2 days after the session. I repeat once again, kindly fill up your feedback form with the correct email IDs. You will be receiving your e-certificates to your mail within 2 days after the end of the session. Thank you all for your participation. Stay safe.